The demonstrators burned the American flag,
November 4th, 1979. It was a Sunday. I remember because I was at home and tried to talk my way out of heading back to the State Department.
Extremist revolutionaries attacked the American embassy.
The same thing had happened just a few months before, and at the time, the U.S. ambassador had negotiated the demonstrators off the embassy grounds in a matter of hours. I ended up on camera anyway, telling Sam Donaldson and our ABC viewers that the crisis should be short-lived.
Ted, the Ayatollah's support for this action is ominous, is it not?
Well, it may or may not be ominous. The State Department is making a particular point to distinguish the Ayatollah Khomeini from the Iranian government.
It may be useful to remind ourselves that analyses delivered early in a crisis are often as not wrong. President Carter was expecting a challenge from Ted Kennedy at the time for the Democratic nomination for president. He, Mr. Carter, was depicted as being so tied up with the hostage crisis that he couldn't leave town. The Carter team called it the Rose Garden strategy.
Our efforts are going to remain concentrated upon the release of the hostages.
For a while, the media and the White House were actually on the same page. ABC News in particular pounced on the story with a regular late-night special report.
America held hostage.
The title alone reminded viewers of what would soon become a massive problem for the administration. There was no end in sight.
Day 52. The CBS...
Over here at CBS News, Walter Cronkite was doing essentially the same thing.
The 74th day of captivity for 50 Americans in Iran.
Bringing them home had become a national obsession. A popular song had morphed into something of a national anthem. Yellow ribbons were sprouting all over America. The song carried a message of hope, but it also served as a constant reminder, week after week, that the hostages were no closer to coming home. Back at ABC News, those special reports were no more. They'd been replaced.
This is a new broadcast in the sense that it is permanent and will continue after the Iran crisis is over.
As for the Carter administration facing a presidential election campaign, Iran had become an albatross.
It was my decision to attempt the rescue operation.
And in April of 1980, President Carter ordered a military rescue, Operation Eagle Claw, to get the hostages out. During a sandstorm, 2 of the aircraft collided and 8 U.S. soldiers died. The mission was aborted.
6 unmarked helicopters and the remains of the transport plane were left behind when the American force withdrew.
Many years later, President Carter told me there are only 2 people who benefited from the hostage crisis, you and the Ayatollah Khomeini. He might have added Ronald Reagan.
So help me God.
In a landslide election, Reagan was swept into office. And minutes past noon on Inauguration Day the following January, the hostages were finally released. It had been 444 days. That was an outcome we may want to remind ourselves that no one in either the media or the government had predicted when it began.